Kenya Airways sanctioned by NCAA over alleged mistreatment of Nigerian passengers. Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority takes action against Kenya Airways for consumer rights violations involving 3 passengers in a firm move to uphold consumer rights and enforce aviation standards. The Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority, NCAA, has officially sanctioned Kenya Airways following a series of passenger mistreatment complaints, most notably involving a Nigerian traveler, Gloria Omasor, and 2 others. The disciplinary action stems from a February incident that sparked widespread attention on social media, highlighting growing concerns over how African airlines treat passengers, especially during international layovers. The incident that sparked the investigation. The controversy began when a video emerged online in February 2025 showing Gloria Omasor in a tense verbal exchange with a Kenya Airways staff member at the airline's transfer desk in Nairobi, Kenya. Omasore, who was traveling on a multi-leg journey from Lagos to Nairobi, then on to Paris and Manchester, accused the airline of inhumane and unprofessional treatment, including poor communication and failure to assist her adequately during a layover. The video, which was widely shared on social media platforms, drew swift public condemnation and calls for accountability from aviation authorities in Nigeria. The viral nature of the footage prompted the NCAA to immediately summon Kenya Airways officials to its headquarters in Abuja for questioning and investigation. Following the initial inquiry, Kenya Airways acknowledged fault in the matter, a rare admission that lent credibility to Omasor's claims and set the stage for formal regulatory action. NCAA's findings and sanctions. After months of investigation, the NCAA announced on Wednesday that Kenya Airways had been found guilty of multiple violations of consumer protection laws as defined under the NCAA Regulations 2023. The agency has since issued a formal letter of sanction to the airline. According to Mr. Mike Achimugu, NCAA's Director of Public Affairs and Consumer Protection, the violations include failure to provide adequate care and assistance to stranded passengers, right to care, lack of transparency regarding terms and conditions, of carriage failure to promptly respond to NCAA's official inquiries, delay in processing passenger refunds and compensation, mishandling and loss of baggage. In addition to the fine imposed in line with NCAA Regulations 2023, the airline has been given 7 days to pay the required refunds and compensation of 1,000 special drawing rights, SDRs, to the affected passengers, Achimugu stated on his verified X, formerly Twitter, handle. For context, 1,000 SDRs is a currency unit created by the International Monetary Fund, IMF, and is currently valued at around $1,320 USD as of May 2025, meaning the compensation per passenger could total over N1.5 million based on exchange rates. What the NCAA regulations say. The sanctions fall under the NCAA's strengthened regulatory framework designed to protect air travelers from abuse, negligence, or unjust practices by local and foreign airlines operating within Nigerian airspace. Under the NCAA Consumer Protection Regulations 2023, passengers are guaranteed several rights, including the right to care. Airlines are obligated to provide meals, accommodation, transport, and communication in cases of flight disruption. The right to timely information. Passengers must be fully informed about delays, cancellations, and changes to their itineraries. The right to refund and compensation. When flights are canceled or significantly delayed due to the airline's fault, passengers are entitled to monetary compensation, rerouting, or refunds. Non-compliance with these regulations may result in fines, license reviews, and, in severe cases, suspension of an airline's operations within Nigeria. A growing pattern of passenger complaints. The incident involving Gloria Omasor and others is not isolated. In recent years, both international and domestic airlines operating in Nigeria have come under increasing scrutiny for delayed refunds, flight cancellations without notice, and lack of care during long layovers or missed connections. Social media has become a powerful platform for exposing these incidents, forcing aviation regulators to respond more swiftly and transparently. In this case, Omasor's decision to document her ordeal and share it publicly helped push the NCAA into action. Broader implications for Kenya Airways, while Kenya Airways has not issued a public statement responding to the NCAA's sanctions. As of press time, the ruling sets a precedent for how foreign carriers operating in Nigeria are expected to treat passengers. Failure to comply within the stipulated 7-day window could result in more severe penalties, including additional financial fines, suspension of landing rights, reputational damage among African travelers, regulatory escalation to the African Civil Aviation Commission, AFCAC, or ICAO. The airline's cooperation, or lack thereof, will also likely influence how it is viewed by both the Nigerian public and regulators in other African countries, many of which are now reinforcing passenger rights as air traffic grows across the continent. The road ahead, passenger rights in focus. This development underscores the growing importance of consumer protection in Africa's aviation sector, especially as the African Continental Free Trade Area, AFCFTA, and initiatives like the Single African Air Transport Market, SAATM, seek to increase intra-African air connectivity. As more African nations adopt stricter aviation policies, passenger experience and dignity will become central to regulatory oversight. The NCAA's swift action in this case sends a clear message. Airlines, whether local or international, will be held accountable for how they treat travelers in Nigerian. Airspace. Final note. For affected passengers like Gloria Omisore, the sanctions may not erase the trauma of their experience, but they represent an important victory in the fight for fair, safe, and respectful treatment of African travelers. If you're traveling soon, know your rights and check whether your airline is compliant with NCAA consumer protection guidelines. For more information, visit www.ncaa.gov.ng or follow the NCAA on social media. Want to become a travel content creator or launch your own channel? You don't need 1 million views or thousands of subscribers to start earning right away. If you're dreaming of sharing your travel stories and getting paid to do it, but don't know where to begin, let's chat. Book a one-on-one clarity call now and get paired with an experienced team lead to guide you every step of the way. Check the description box for the call purchase link.